Well, all right, y'all. All across the USC, Compton, Watts, Bay to LA, Pomona, California, from valley to valley, we represent that killer Cali. So if you keeping it real on your side of your town, you tune in to Gangsta Chronicles.
Gangsta Chronicles, we gon' tell you how it goes.
If I lie, my nose will grow like Pinocchio. We gon' tell you the truth and nothing but the truth.
Gangsta Chronicles, this is not your average show.
You're now tuned into the real MC8, Big James, and Big Steel.
This is strictly from the streets.
Hello.
We represent the G's.
That's Compton. Mm-hmm. Now the West Side is a whole different story on how the set starts. So once again, this way you don't get it unfiltered and think that's how it went for everybody.
Exactly.
On the West Side, I'm gonna tell you how we started.
Mm-hmm.
When Tookie left, everybody would assume when that murder happened, Tookie was in Compton from 72 on. He was running Bob Simmons' boys home. Had one on Ponderosa and Prime, had another one called the Red House, and Putnam shot him over there. The other one I only know because they shot his car up and they had us, me, Rusty, and Cutes, go change the tire while he bought the shotgun, the same one that got him the death penalty. That's how he got it, and that was down the line. But in our era, the West Side Crips started from 71. That's Bob and all them. That's when they ran into Raymond M. at the Boss Tom Cross record hop up at Sportsman Park, which is Jesse Orange. The only two places Crips ever met in L.A. when it came to East Side and West Side, and now all we talking about is the other side of the 110 freeway. Anything over there is East Side. There are no sets. Everything over here are West Side. Then you got Compton. So over here, Took was in Compton. He was irrelevant here because he's in Compton dealing with them. Lil James, Compton, the Boot Hill was open, the Grandies, one light in, one light out. I can tell you a story about Bodacious. I can tell you a story about Bodacious and Little Vic, who I didn't know his name, or Vincent. And he had clarified the story where we was at that's when we used to all go to the Wasp Festival, right before they shut down everything. But back to that, once the West Side Crips had stopped, which was really, on our side of town, they only had cliques, not gangs, as opposed to, because don't forget, we're integrating into where they have homes and white folks still. We got a miniature golf.
Right.
We got a giant slide.
Okay.
We have a go-kart. You got skating rings. None of that was available, or if it was being gentrification. See how they go?
Right.
Now that I process it and can remember, now I know what to say, and I didn't realize it. So a lot of things that we have going on, don't take somebody as they should have known. No, as you get older, that's the number one deterrent to crime. You start the game slow down, and you start seeing, I had to been a zip damn fool to go and do this goddamn shit. So now, the first set on the West Side was started by Monk, United Underground. Not Underground, United. Next, Melvin Hardy started Block. O'Neal Brown started 111. Terry Block started Watergate. Barefoot Pookie started Payback. No, Godfathers. Because they ended up signing up when we was at Dorsey where they were Harlem Godfathers. And that's what was going on over there. So now, Hoover comes out. And they're mostly from Fremont, Bret Harte, and Bethune, where you got a meeting of junior highs. Now they all at the school, and now it's getting personal because some area has to be king of that school.
Right.
So when we went to Washington from out the 80s, Soul Train was coming out. In our era, three things was happening: Soul Train, gangbanging, and pop locking. They're all still talked about today. So we didn't set trip, we setting trends here tonight. So then when they start, I get caught with a gun, and no more than by the time I come back, it looks like they have a structure to where they got guys telling them what to do. Don't forget, we only 14, 15, so we got my crew where we just as active as anybody. because you can always hurt a stranger. So we coming from the 80s, and the 60s was coming. Odie Shaw, Raymond Potts, Newhouse, Herman Moncrief, Mark Bolden, just a gang of them. We can go back over them later, but the point was we were unified, but when the Hoovers came out, that's when the problem happened. Because the hundreds, now they getting kicked out, and I'll tell you, one of my friends, y'all know who Elvis is? If you don't know, that's who started the Swans. I think his last name Wilson.
Elvis Wilson.
Am I correct, my dear Watson?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's get it popping. Sherlock, my big right here, we're going to make it happen tonight. We're going to have some fun, because tonight we're not playing. So now, Elvis got killed at Manchester Park, where really what had happened, because the boy was in YA. I tell y'all, my friends got murder conviction, and the man that was accused of that was in YA with me, Peabody, Barry, Marcus, Nunn, which is China Doll, Cynthia Nunn. I've been knowing their family since they had the house since 13. So when we had to start, and let me tell you, any blood that was in their era on down till about, we started breaking up in 75 and going to jail, you got to get them their salute, because it'll be about 50 of us to 1. But we never abused the privilege. And Marcus Nunn will tell you, when Peabody caught his second murder, his little brother came with him. And they put him in the Crip module. And he only was 18. And he told me, Peabody, my brother, I ain't never been in jail. He went to jail with him, didn't he? Am I lying?
Yeah.
Coop.
Yeah.
And I say, hold up, y'all. This is Peabody, brother. And I say, don't worry about nothing. True story. A lot of times, we didn't go because it's only business on the street, but it's no way in our era we gonna be honorable where we gonna try to rat pack somebody or nothing. Then Salty got killed. Ricky Silas, Chocolate. A lot of bodies start falling in the early years, where I can name it all day long, behind what we're going through now. So what happened on the west side started internally. When the Hoovers came out, the hundreds, because they coming to Washington, not only did they not like the Hoovers, they didn't like the boys. They could have went to Crenshaw, which was the hip-hop school. You had Soul Train dancers, but that was the money, Ladera Heights. And plus it wasn't active. See, in 69, Crenshaw wasn't active. When you go to Washington, it's activity.
Right.
Yeah, that's when you got Underground, Block, 111, Payback, Watergate, Raymond. All them are right there, and they all come from Henry Clay. So that means they got a farm system, if you would treat it like a team, to where they don't want from elementary fucking up to junior high fucking up. Now they in high school, and we coming in, we got to sour oats to make them respect us. We not from over there, we coming from Horace Mann. So when that happened, the Hoovers, which ended up being the 60s, because they started the East Side Bishops, which were West Side. When I moved off 83rd, I went on 63rd and 10th Avenue, and I knew about Space Ghost and them all over there on the East Side Bishops, but I never heard of a West Side Bishop. So me, Barefoot Pookie, Michael Conception, we sit up and I pull up, and I see a group of men, and this is how you get where you're from, sorta. I see a group of dudes coming from Dorsey. Hey, Poop. Who is them over there? Oh, man, see you tomorrow. So I walk over there. I say, where y'all from? They say West Side. They say Bishop. They didn't even have no West Side. They say Bishops. So I say, like Bishops with Space Ghost and them on the East Side? He say, yeah. I say, y'all ain't got Crip on that? I say, don't be here tomorrow. And the next day, I can say his name. They know it. The next day, they were there, and we had a problem. And what I tell you about problems. Okay, so I don't have to say it to you. And that's what happened. And then the 60s started, but it was a problem. You already had N-Hood from 111. Right. Babyface, the Manuel family, the Overhills. Those were the ones, and Babyface in particular, and Fred Hill, because I was with them, because I told you we was robbing ice cream trucks or armored trucks at 14, so we was having money also. So they said, well, they won 11, we 6-0. See how they go? Makes sense?
Yeah.
Because you already had 111. But they were in hood, so how you gonna have a in hood up there and an in hood up here, and we with Hoovers, and they fighting Hoovers, because that's when it started. So the Hoovers, and that's why you hear moving and grooving. We never turned our backs on them. We didn't understand why if they Crips, that y'all getting at them like that. See, so internal fighting already had started. So that's the longest war when it comes to Crip history, not the 60s and the 8 trays. It's the Hoovers and the 100s. They never shook hands to this day. So we didn't understand it, so we joined up with them, and then we end up, and I say, we're gonna start the Gangster Crips, because I'm the founder, co-founder. So when I see them doing, not this before that, let's get back to when I come out, and now they don't start at the sets, but when I went in, it wasn't but one. And I see the get down, and I pull my crew, we leave, we stay on 83rd, and I say, we're gonna be Gangster Crips. So I wrote on the wall, Melvin Farmer, Gangster Crip. And then that's when we united with the Hoovers, and we had 748 Trey 9 Deuce 107. We locked down that corridor down 83rd from that freeway down to where when you come to Van Ness, that side is Crips. Now you got Jan Brewer, which later would be the Inglewood families. At this time they were a chain gang. Wesley Logan, Lil Caesar. So that was the makeup on the west side. We didn't have gangs. They had cliques. And they started from the junior highs mixing, because remember, when that murder happened, they cleaned out the west side. It wasn't a lot of people that were actually getting involved. It wasn't a lot of them like if you would think it was, oh, it's 10, 20, 30, 40 tookies there. No, they crowd would be, shit, maybe 4 or 5 of them. It would never be done. They hadn't expanded. But when we joined in, and like you say, the older ones say, we'll ride the beef. We juvenile. They didn't have to tell us. Tookie and them or none of them ever went to jail after we got in the game. They didn't have to do nothing. Have fun. We got this.
From the streets to the yard, to the boulevard, Gangsta Chronicles. Well, all right, y'all. All across the USC, Compton, Watts, Bay to LA, Pomona, California, from valley to valley, we represent that killer Cali. So if you keeping it real on your side of your town, you tune in to Gangsta Chronicles.
Gangsta Chronicles, we gon' tell you how it goes.
If I lie, my nose will grow like Pinocchio. We gon' tell you the truth and nothing but the truth.
Gangsta Chronicles, this is not your average show.
You're now tuned into the real MC8, Big James, and Big Steel.
This is strictly from the streets.
Hello.
We represent the G's.
You know we represent the G's, never no wannabes.
Gangsters, hustlers, players on the go. Tune in like every week.
If you wanna hear the real, well, you done come to the right spot. Gangsta Chronicle.